Hello, hello, hello. I'm so grateful to join you today. Today we have the Empress with us. She is very insightful and very knowledgeable about a lot of things. She has a successful business of her own that she runs in New York City. And so we are very excited to have her on with us. We don't know what she's going to say. I know you guys have heard of the red table talk. Well, this is the red and pink, the red and fuchsia table talk. Because we don't know where this is going to lead. But I'm confident that it is going to be great for you and insightful. She is getting ready for her clients, getting ready for work, and she had a few minutes, so she took a few minutes out before she's all done up to share some wisdom with us because she's been very insightful in her business. This young lady is not only a successful business owner, but she's very young. And at the very tender young age of her early 20s, she has now become a successful business owner with clients that are twice as old as her. She is a certified esthetician, and she is in the New York City area, which is one of the most competitive areas for aesthetics in the world. Okay, I guess outside of Paris, it's New York City. So, Christina, the Empress, tell us, how is it that you were able to secure your throne and be able to be as successful as you have been thus far in your industry? I mean, there's so much competition out there. How have you branded yourself to be able to sit on the throne as high up as you are?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much, Arlene, for having me and giving me the platform to be able to speak about something that I'm so passionate about, which is business. So, first and foremost, how I've been able to, I guess, achieve the level of success that I have been able to achieve is first, of course, God. I wouldn't have been able to do any of the things that I am doing now if it was not for his blessings. Um, which is so exciting to me. Second, I would definitely have to thank you, Arlene, because you've been so instrumental in my life and always given me really good advice.
I'm a great coach.
Yes, you're great. You're definitely very helpful in terms of like direction and like where to go. I think that a lot of us have this dream where we say we want to be successful. You know, everybody wants to be successful. But I think that what is different from what you do versus what other people do is you say, okay, hold on, let's backtrack. What is the goal, right? And then from the goal, you help us to work backwards. So for me, when I was younger, I wanted to be a nurse. I was like, well, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be a nurse and it's just going to be great. And I just had like my life planned out in my brain. And then, things changed. And when I kind of came to you, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I didn't have a business. I did not have an aesthetics license. Um, and you were kind of like, okay, well, what makes you happy? Well, what are the things that bring you joy? Be mindful of the things that bring you joy. And I think that from then, I've just kind of like moved forward little by little. And, I think God has just kind of carried me up. And he's going to carry me way further. But I'm so blessed to one, know him and to two, know you. I want to share that piece of advice that you gave me the other day. I recently raised my prices because I felt like I wanted to be um, I wanted to provide a certain level of quality to my clients, but I didn't want to have to take money out of my savings and not be in profit in order to do that. And so once I did, you kind of told me, okay, well, don't argue with them because I don't remember what word you used was, I don't know if it was shutter shock.
Sticker shock.
Sticker shock. It was sticker shock that you said that they had. And I was concerned because I said, well, I don't want to outprice them. But you definitely gave me like the piece, which was crazy because, you would be one of the pay those prices. So I would think that if anything, you would say, well, you should lower them. And I don't know. And you're going to be out of business. And I thought you were going to panic with me. But you just gave me the calm environment to kind of say, okay, well, what can we do to make this make the most sense? And this entire week I've been working and I've been using your approach. And not only do my clients want to pay the prices now, but they don't even have sticker shock anymore. And they're excited to pay the prices and they're excited to see what else I have in store. And that just gives me the creative freedom to really be able to take this to where I know God can take this to. So I'm just so very grateful. And whatever pieces and whatever nuggets of wisdom I can share. I hope that they would be helpful and a blessing to the people who are listening.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. As a coach, sometimes we share information with people, but we don't necessarily always see the result. And people don't necessarily come back and say, "Oh, thank you. That really worked well." I mean, I
Mhm.
guess the fact that they continue with your coaching services, it says, well, they like it. But it's so nice when people say, "Wow, I liked that. It really worked. It's so exciting. I'm so excited for you." So you've raised your prices and you're in the hottest market in the entire world, like I said, outside of Paris, and you're doing it. You're doing your aesthetics. That's so awesome. And as a young person of color, how did you determine your target market? Because a lot of people struggle with finding that niche, finding that group of people who will celebrate them and come to them. You have raving fans. How did
Wow.
you cultivate that niche?
Good question. So I think that what I did, um, I started providing the service, right? Because I needed knowledge of the service in order to know who I wanted to attract. So I started doing the service, and I just allowed whoever wanted to come. And then I started learning about different people. I started learning about different types of people, different age groups, like which age groups would be best, like who I got along with the best, who I was able to um, help the most. Because, when you're in the aesthetics industry and you're sitting down with your clients for several hours, um, they want to be comfortable with you. And I've had to learn that not everyone is going to be comfortable with me. So essentially my target clientele is kind of just people who would be able to gain some, I don't want to say wisdom, but people who would benefit from me being the person that I am. I hope that makes sense. So in the initial, I was just taking whoever, and I found that some of a lot of my clients were very busy people, and they didn't have anyone to listen to them. Nobody ever told me, hey, therapy is important. Life coaching is important. Um,
Yes.
nobody was helping them manage their time. A lot of the women who come to me as clients, they are wives and they are mothers, and a lot of them are business owners as well. So they're moving in so many different pockets that my space is the only space that they kind of have to so I
Decompress.
right. So I do lashes. I don't know any woman who would not benefit from having lash extensions. Lash extensions are a beautiful addition to the face and to the confidence. But for me, it's more than lash extensions. I said, okay, who can I have an impact on? Who can I show the love of God to? Who can I benefit emotionally? Who can benefit from the information that I know? Right. And so essentially from there, I said, okay, well, I wanted women certain of a certain age group, women who had interests. And so I'm actually from Jamaica. My family's from Jamaica, but I obviously reside in New York, and I was born in the United States. But I found that women of Caribbean descent, I was able to relate better to them because when I was speaking to them, I come from that background, but I've also gotten the knowledge now on the front end to kind of know how to deal with that background and how to take the good and leave the bad. So when I'm speaking to them now, I can say, hey, your parents never told you this, but this is why they said what they said. This is why they did what they did. Particularly life coaches, I feel like are so valuable. Therapists are so valuable because when your parents are speaking to you, they
Yeah.
want you to do well. But what did you say?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that your parents, they want you to do well, but if you don't do well, the responsibility is on them to take care of you. So the areas that they're going to push you into are more secure areas, are more safe areas where they know that if anything happens to them, that you're going to be okay. And so for me, I could kind of articulate to them, hey, your parents, they want you to be secure, but they want you to be happy. And you need to get with a life coach or with a therapist or with mentors, because if you get with mentors, then they're going to be able to help you, and they're not going to focus so much on your security as much as they're going to focus on you achieving your destiny, even if it may be a little bit difficult, even if it may be a little bit stressful in the initial. And Arlene is temporarily gone. I guess we had some technical difficulties, but to answer the question, that was a long roundabout answer. But to answer the question, how did I find my niche? I just met a lot of different people, and I found the people who I could help best. We're back. Yeah, I met a lot of different people, and I found the people who I could serve best, who I felt like I would be most instrumental to.
So
And then I
this is so awesome. Like you're saying, you found the people that you felt you could help best. This is key because if people can find their target market, then it's easy to expand it. And usually we say, well, you're going to look at the top 100 people who are your clients and find out what their backgrounds are, and then match up those backgrounds to the way that you market and the way that you reach out. But having started out and knowing your story a little bit, I know that you found your target market really early on. And it's not necessarily an age thing. Like some people will say, well, 25 to 35, because you have older clients that are your target market and younger clients. So it's not the age thing. And you said, you touched on something clearly with us. You said it was the background of the clients, like maybe that they were from a particular background and that they connected with you with that background.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just said something very key. You said, well, you take your top 100 clients and then you just kind of look at who they are. But I think that the difference between what I did, because when I found my target market, I didn't even think I had 100 clients at the time. But I had, I looked at my clients. I looked at my favorite clients, not the clients who were coming to me the most. Because if I just chose a random client out of the water, that person may not come to me. But I looked at some of the women who I looked at my favorites, so maybe like my 10 favorite clients, and I said, okay, well, who are these women? Why do I like them? One of the things that I really liked about my clients is that they valued themselves enough to invest in luxury experiences. So at the Empress Lashes Incorporated, I create a luxury experience for my clients. My clients, sometimes these are the 2 hours out of the month that they get rest. So I said, okay, well, how can I service you guys best? So there are going to be some people who may be who necessarily need that space of rest. And I wouldn't
Right.
necessarily, they wouldn't necessarily be my market. They would be able to benefit from that. Versus my clients, like they love that rest. They love being able to feel comfortable in a space, and they love being catered to. That's the key thing. They love being catered to. And then once I saw that, even who had these luxury experiences, who wanted to kind of take life further and who wanted to be able to invest in themselves, I saw that they wanted to come to me. From there, it was straight up. I was like, okay, well, what do you guys like? I put it on my website. And so and speak the truth without the fear of me speaking to them, and maybe without the fear of the consequences that truth may
You're
bring.
going
So
in
they
and
were
out a
able
little
to
bit.
go in
You're going in and out a little bit, and I want to punctuate something that you said. You said that you were meeting a need. So many people think, well, they're coming to you for the lashes, but everybody in the industry, in your industry, is doing what you do. But one of the distinctions between what you're doing and what they're doing is that you were, in addition to that, you're meeting a need that these women have when they come to your luxury establishment. And so, of the 5 things that we look for when we're establishing a legitimate business and you're looking for your clientele, step number 2 is you have to meet a need. Nobody's going to come to you if you don't meet a need. And so you found that what they needed really was like that spa-like environment, why they were coming to you versus some of the other people.
And I think that what I realized, so from when I was really, really young, my mom always made sure to take me to the spa. I loved going to the spa. And
Me
then,
too.
and a lot of the spas that I went to were obviously in different neighborhoods. We're in more affluent neighborhoods. So because of that, I found that a lot of people who are like me, who are of Caribbean. Are we back on? Can we
Yep,
hear
we're
me?
on. We never lost you.
We never lost me. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. What I found is that a lot of people of Caribbean descent, we come to this country and we want to do well. So sometimes investing in getting a massage is something that we'll do on our birthday. and not a consistent self-care thing. So I found that that was something that my clients needed in particular. And I noticed that because once I added, I moved to a new space, right? When I moved to the new shop, they were like, wow, this is so beautiful. I love it here. And literally every client spoke to me about it without me even saying anything. I added, I had a waterfall in my space that I turn on so you can kind of hear the water in the background. And I never pointed out to my clients, but I look at what they point out and they say, wow, I love the waterfall. I feel so relaxed and just rejuvenated. Christina, I love coming to you. I would never want to go to anyone else. And that to me communicated, okay, well, I've been doing your lashes the same way for the past 6 months, for the past 15 months. So you like the lashes regardless. So what is it that makes you communicate my services to other people? Because in business, word of mouth promotion is the best form of promotion before marketing, before celebrity, I don't know what the word is for it, but before celebrity acknowledgement.
Yeah.
It's word of mouth.
So how did you go about?
I actually can't hear you.
Oh, how did you go about getting that first person? Okay, I guess you still can't hear me. So one of the things that I know that you have done in your circle is you have upgraded the service. So you have increased your price, but you've also increased the amount of things that you're giving the client for that larger price. So it's like going into Starbucks where you have the fancy type of coffee, the fancy cups, the beautiful environment. You know, it's not just a table, but you have Wi-Fi service and you have the beautiful furniture and, you know, a lot of additional things that are allowing you to charge a higher price. So I think that's what you've done in your establishment, correct?
Yeah, I'm really good at reading lips. So I actually just I kind of I like what you said. So I at one point I had a membership at a really really fancy gym, right? The membership I think was like $100, and you can go to the gym for $10. You can go to the YMCA for free a month. Yeah, you can go to the YMCA for free, I believe. You can go outside your house and jog if you want to. You know, nobody needs a gym, let alone a gym that costs $100 a month. But I gained so much from that experience because I said, okay, what types of people are willing to invest in luxury experiences? And I think from there, it was really easy for me to move forward. Like, why do we go to Starbucks? So when I go to Starbucks and I get my coffee, not only do I get, I don't even like coffee. I don't even get coffee. I get a Frappuccino. When I go to Starbucks.
Uh-huh. So it's like the luxury experience. So you understand that your industry is a luxury industry. So if you're just, you know, Joe Schmo on the street, you're probably not going to spend $150 to, you know, do something to
Right.
beautify yourself. But the fact that you're in that industry, you already know that these are people who want a luxury experience. So it's interesting. I want to ask you a question because some people say it makes more sense to increase the service that you're providing and thereby increase the price. Others have said, well, you can just be specific, offer that same service that you're offering, and increase the price. And I would more agree that it makes sense to give more for that offer. And many people are challenged by price because they're not really giving value for the dollar that they're requesting.
That they're requiring. Absolutely.
So what gave you the confidence to then raise your prices as you did during the season, as opposed to doing like many people do, especially young women too. I mean, older women as well, just not being that confident about the price increase.
So I think first and foremost, I think the industry definitely had a lot to do with it. I was speaking to someone the other day and I said, you know, if I was selling milk, I would not raise my prices past a certain price point because it's milk and milk is an essential need. Milk bread. I am in lashes. So the women who come to me to get their lash extensions done, the type of woman who would want lash extensions is already looking for a luxury experience, you know? And also I believe that I don't think I'm the same as my target clientele, but I think I'm very similar to my target clientele. And so I think why I felt confident is because I don't require my clients to do things that I wouldn't want to do. So for me, if I was going to somebody for a service on a consistent basis and there was no change in the service, there was no change in the environment, and randomly they just decided to change their prices, I would be frustrated and offended because I would say, well, what's the difference, and especially like in these COVID times, we're still in a pandemic. People definitely can be a little bit frustrated when you raise prices, but for me, if I can see with my eyes and say, okay, she has a new space now. Parking is free now. She offers snacks and waters now. She has a private space where only me and her can speak, and I can speak candidly and share my feelings and share.
Beautiful waiting area and a lobby.
Beautiful waiting area. Yes. Even in my bathroom, we don't even use like regular like Dove soap. We use
Incense too. It
huh?
smells beautiful in
Yes.
that facility.
Plugins. I have the Glade sprays. So
I
when
think one of the things that you said that I want to highlight and punctuate,
Mhm.
not to cut you off, but I want to punctuate the fact that you shared that you don't require things of your clients that you don't require of yourself. So, as a coach, there are many people who are in a multiplicity of industries and they want to raise their prices. But the question is, would you pay the price that you're requiring of your client? And
Mhm.
many people wouldn't.
Right. Right. That's the thing. You hit the nail on the head, Arlene.
Yeah, so you are requiring a higher price, but you would pay that price for the service that you're providing. And
Experience.
so you're attracting people who would also pay that price. So when you talk about it, you're talking about it with energy and enthusiasm. And when you share it, you're sharing it with the knowledge that, yeah, this is good. As opposed to some people who are raising their prices because they're coaches or something else. And they're like, I would never pay $1,000 for coaching. I
Right.
don't even have a coach myself.
Right.
But yet they want other people to pay $1,000 for coaching. So I think that it's very important if you're a coach or you're an esthetician or you're a whatever it is, that you be someone who also has a coach or also has an esthetician so that you can become comfortable with the price too. If you're paying that for somebody else's service, then you'll feel more comfortable charging.
Absolutely. I think that's a big thing with that as well. I've definitely spent a lot of money, more than I would like to
Mhm.
say,
On your aesthetics.
on luxury experiences. I think that luxury things are cute and nice, but I think the luxury experience is invaluable. When you walk into these nice places, if you go to the Waldorf Astoria, or if you go to an Equinox, so a really expensive gym, or you go to these high-end spas in New York City, you'll find people will say, hi, my last name is Walters. They'll say, hi, Miss Walters. Hi, how are you? They cater to you. They say, can I take your bag? Can I offer you a water? Because these things that I learned how to do, I didn't create them. I just took the nuggets and I learned. Like, I would absolutely pay the price that I'm paying for what I'm offering. I think it's a matter of, like you said, if nobody wants anyone to pull a fast one on them, if there's something that I'm getting for 50 cents, if there's something that I'm getting for 25 cents consistently, if I know something is worth 25 cents and someone charges me 50 cents, I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's only 50 cents. Let me just pay it. No one wants to overpay for what they're getting. So when you raise your, often the jerk reaction is, I'm overpaying for what I'm getting. So when I raise my prices and I express to my clients, hey, these are the things that I'm adding. I'm even going to have my assistant actually come into the space and be able to be on the phone with them as soon as they call. So instead of needing to wait on a response from me and focus on what I'm doing, they can pick up the phone and call, and my assistant will get to them right away, So they're being catered to. And so that makes their experience as a client less stressful.
Okay, so you're talking now to the business owner who is not as established as you. He hasn't been in business for several years and is doing aesthetics and is winning at this business opportunity. But somebody who's starting out and they're looking to get clients and looking to gain that target market and looking to grow. What advice would you give that business owner to say, this is how you do it. This is how you turn that business into something.
Add value. Add value as often as you can. Add as much value as you can, and for as long as you can. If you are a person who wants to add value to another person's life and focus on them, you are probably part of the 1% of our population who is not focused on his or herself. There is nobody that I would not pay who is adding value to my life. If somebody is valuable, people will pay. I've had people try to pay me for services that I'm not even offering because they know that I am a person who wants to add value to them. The reason why everybody who we pay, we're paying them because they're adding value. So I would urge you, the young person, or not necessarily young person, but the person who is young in business, I would urge them to say, to think and say, how are you adding value, and how could you add more value to your clients or to your customers? A lot of people, they want a lot of clients and they want to be really, really good in business, and they want to be really excited about what they're doing and what they have going on, but they don't pay attention to the 3 clients that they have now. When I had 4 clients, I was putting all my time and energy and effort into giving them the best experience I possibly could have. Even if that meant that I was cutting into my profits sometimes, or that meant that I was spending more time on a set that I should have been, I provided the best quality service. And my clients are so consistent with me, and my clients never drop off because I care about them. And that is something that is invaluable. You can't pay me to care about you.
Okay. So clearly, I am glad that you provide the service that you do to your clients. And I'm glad that you are light to our business community. And one of the things that you said that I want to punctuate is you said you add value. So every business owner feels like they add value. That's why they're a business owner. But you're saying not adding value in a selfish way, like, okay, I'm adding value looking to get your money, but I'm
Right.
adding value to provide a service and to help you and to ensure that you get this thing that you didn't have when you walked into my facility or when you purchased my services. And
Mhm.
so I think that's really great. The mindset while you're offering the service is that I am giving you value. And what do you say to people who say, well, let's say it's not a service business like yours where you can come in and provide, the beautiful aroma that you mentioned, special sanitizer, not just the regular one but the one that smells, but you're doing like an internet business. Then how would you differentiate yourself and show that you're giving value versus, everybody else who's pretty much providing the same type of thing?
Mm. I would say, first and foremost, there's a book that I read. It's really good. I believe it's by Dale Carnegie. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes, I know that.
Right. That book is it has been so instrumental in my business journey. Um, I think that we can always find ways to add value. So if I'm a person who's doing business with, say, an internet business, if I was doing an internet business, I would do things like saying the person's name. When you're DMing somebody on Instagram, there's so many people on Instagram and social media that think about yourself as just a number in their big world. But for somebody to reach out to you and say, "Hi, Arlene," that's like, wow. So when somebody reaches out to me, I think that the response, is very important, because now I have a service-based business, but most of the clients that I have now didn't meet me when they were coming to me. They just found me online. I had a client who told me, "Yeah, Christina, the reason why I wanted to come to you was because..."
Empress. Yes, Empress.
The reason why I wanted to come to you was because when I reached out and I had questions about your service, you responded to me and you said, "Hey, love, I'm so excited that you're interested in the service." You felt so energized about the service that you were providing that I just wanted to be a part of that energy. A lot of people do what they're doing because they're trying to pay bills and because they don't love what they're doing. And nobody wants to be in an environment where they're being forced to do something. So when you're doing an online business, I would definitely say just cater to them as much as possible, find their needs. I don't know how much communication would be being done, but they need to feel like you are Oprah and you are taking time out of your day to provide an Oprah level service to them. A lot of us, when we're starting out, we don't have that many clients and we kind of feel discouraged and we kind of bring that discouraged energy into the appointment. So, like,
Say that again. Say that again.
no, I said a lot of us, if we're only getting a small number of clients, we feel discouraged and we bring that discouraged energy into the appointments or when we're sending out the products. So what I've always done, I treat my business like a multi-million dollar business. I act like my business has the reputation of a multi-million dollar business. I act like my business has the clients of a multi-million dollar business. Yeah.
That was key what you just said. You said that you run your business like a multi-million dollar business, even though it's not um, the where you want it to be yet. You run it as if you're already there. So you're very successful in your business. You've gotten many clients, you've moved forward, you've been doing it for years, you're certified esthetician, but you're still not where you want to be. And so you're saying you run your business as if you're already there. And the energy that you bring to your space is such that you make people feel like you're already there. And so they're excited to be a part of what you're doing. And just for, we have some people who have signed on now on Facebook as well. So I want them to, I'm just punctuating what you already said, which is that the lady who you spoke with, she was so excited by your energy about your business that she said she wanted to be a part. And I believe that I've experienced that too, when I am talking with somebody and they're just so excited about their business that you just want to be a part. And there's a lady, Lisa Nichols. She said that she started her business. She's very well known. And she said that when she started her business and she was seeking funding, there was a gentleman who said to her, you know, I'm not really interested in kids and programs for kids, but you're just so excited and so ebullient about your business that I also want to support you and be a part of it. So even though he and his wife weren't interested in, you know, programs for kids, she got the funding. So I think that what you just said is key. And I like to punctuate those points that you make, that we have to be excited about what it is that we're doing.
Right. We have to be. I think even there's a girl who I know actually, and she's also in the beauty industry.
Yes.
And she's always talking about how she wants clients. She wants clients. I saw her deal with a client recently, and she was late. She didn't have her stuff together. Um, and to me, what that communicated to me is you don't have clients because the people who do choose to do business with you don't enjoy their experience when they're coming to you. So when I saw her conducting business in that way, knowing that word of mouth promotion is the most valuable promotion, I didn't see her offering that client anything that any other beauty service provider wouldn't offer, you know? So I think another thing is knowing what makes you unique. When I started doing business, I had a lot of people tell me, Christina, Empress, I've never seen you in a bad mood. I've never seen you in a bad mood. Or you have that.
Okay, that is key. That is key. I put a link in there if you guys are watching and you want to watch us on Facebook. There is the link. So I'd love for you to go ahead and click on that link as well, the Empress, so that they can see you. But I want you to know there was a lady, many people are not impressed by Ladies of the Night, but she was sharing, because she was very, very successful. You know, many of you who are older remember the Mayflower Madam. She said that one of the things that was so amazing is that all these men who were involved with these women wanted to marry them. They wanted to marry these ladies of the, I guess they don't call them ladies of the night anymore. I'm not sure. If I'm using the wrong term, please pardon me. But she was saying how so many of these men wanted to marry these women. And one of the reasons why they wanted to marry these women was because these women were presenting a situation, like you said, where they never had a headache. They never had a bad day. Every time the man came to them, they were receptive and ready to listen to his problems and his thoughts. And so it wasn't just the service that they were providing, but the way that they were providing it. And she said she would tell the girls, don't marry them because it's not going to work out. And they'd say, well, why? And it's because you're not being your regular self with them. You're receiving your client to provide a service that they're paying for. So you're your best self. And so what you just said is really key and in line with what she said, which was a tool for how her business was so successful, because they never had a bad day. They were always presenting their best self and putting their best foot forward while they were on the journey of acquiring clients or working with clients. And so, I mean, we're in this world of authenticity where you want to be authentic, even online. I did a show on Thursday and I did it from New York and I did it on my cell phone. And so I had never done a show where I didn't have a team helping me or doing it from the laptop. And so, well, not a show, but it was a mastermind. So we had lots of people on and I was doing it from my phone. And I said, listen, I've never done this before. So please work with me and be patient with me while I was walking through the nuts and bolts. But what you're saying is when people come to you, yeah, there's that authenticity, but you don't necessarily always want to show them, that you're having those challenges, but you want to show them your best self.
Absolutely. I think that, because she said that and it was so funny because I definitely have bad days, but I think that the service that I'm providing is so valuable to me that my bad day is incomparable to the experience that this person is going to get after they leave, whether they come to me, whether they are a consistent client of mine or not. I want them to have nothing but good things to say about me. And I want them to be benefited genuinely. I have some clients who can't necessarily always afford to come and get their lashes done every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. But when they do come, they're excited. They tell everybody about me. And some of those women have been more valuable to my business than the women who come every 2 weeks, And I think also another big part of it is not undercharging. I find that when I go into my business, when I was underpriced and I was going into my business, after a certain point, I would get to a place where I would go and I would be so stressed out. I would be so discouraged from before I even start the client. Because I'm like, I'm going to go and I'm going to give this woman 2.5, 3 hours of my life. And I'm only going to get $85 out of it, and she paid a deposit online. So I'm really only going to get $60 out of it, And I think that once that was happening, it was very difficult. And when I raised my prices, not this most recent time, but the last time when I raised my prices, I was so excited. I was like, wow, I can get somebody to spend this amount of money and come to me. And I was so grateful to them for even choosing me, that I just wanted to give them a good value back. When you're working a job in corporate America or just anywhere, whenever you're working a job, your job is never going to pay you what you're actually worth. So they're always getting more value out of you than they're actually giving to you, right?
Yeah.
So in translation, what I took that to mean is that if I have a client and they're paying me $150 for the service, I need them to leave and say, wow, I really should have given Christina $200. I really should have given the Empress $200 for that service because it was so valuable, And then in situations like that, they're like, wow, I feel excited. I treat every client as much as possible with the respect and the love of
That you deserve.
a Beyonce. I treat them as
Ooh.
a Beyonce.
Okay, so now you're talking about customer service in order to expand your business. You're talking about how you treat every customer like a Beyonce. And I think that's really key because sometimes people say, well, this is a high price client, so I'm going to treat this client like a Beyonce because this is my Beyonce. But then I have a lower price client because she's just coming in for a fill. She's not coming in for the works. And I'm going to treat her like, Tabitha. So I definitely think it's key that we should treat everybody. I mean, just even in your walk in life, I'm a life coach. Like, you should treat everyone in the best possible way that you can. And,
Mhm.
sometimes those clients that you're treating like a Tabitha, if you treat them like a Beyonce, they turn into a Beyonce.
And you know what's interesting about that as well? One thing that I've learned in my business, I have learned that the quote unquote Tabitha clients are the clients that are your bread and butter, will pay you consistently top dollar, will come to you with no headache, no issues, spread your business through word of mouth more so than a Beyonce. I've been in business for a few years now. Girls with lots of followers on Instagram, I would say, "Hey, come to me." I would do their lashes for free. Sometimes they're posting me and reposting me, and I might get a few followers from it. But the value that I get from a quote unquote Tabitha client is astronomical in comparison to the value that I would get from a Beyonce client. Because I have some students actually who've learned to do lashes for me and who've gone on to do a lot of celebrities' lashes. And
Oh, that's another thing that you offer. You're not only providing the service yourself, but you're creating economic um, avenues for people in your community by also teaching them how to provide the service. And so you're running your own school in essence, as well as providing the business services to your clients.
absolutely. I love teaching my students, and I love when they come back to me with more knowledge because they've gone on and used the information and done well with it. Um, from this one particular student, I learned that, when a celebrity client is coming to you, they're not going to tip you $100, because a lot of them, they have to keep up an image so they look like they're making all this money, but that doesn't mean that they're going to give you a whole bunch of money. So based
Yes.
on the money that they were giving versus the service that they had to provide, sometimes when we have celebrities coming to us, we want to travel to them, we want to get the best stuff, we have to provide so much to them, but then we don't really end up getting that much back. And those people, when you're a celebrity, you have to go to the person who's hot. So if you're hot today, then great. But if you're not hot tomorrow, then then they're not going to come to you. And I find that when girls come to me, the number one thing that they say is, "Empress, when I look at your page, I see the same girls over and over and over again." That means that these women trust you so much that they've been spending their money with you from 2020, from 2019, So what that communicates to them is that I'm a person who cares about my clients. Because when you look at these big name people, the Beyoncés and the Rihannas of the world. I'll just finish. Sorry. When you look at these different big name people, what you find, how are they making their money? They're not making their money from the big corporations. They're making their money from all of the quote unquote Tabithas, the people who are streaming their music and buying their Fenty lingerie and watching the Netflix series about them, That's why the big companies are paying them. It's not because the big companies just like them. The big companies are paying them because they're adding value to the masses and the masses respect them. So if you can respect the masses are going to pay you, so you don't even need a middleman. And the high name Beyonces aren't even necessary.
How did you go about increasing your social media whereby you had so many people that were coming to you without having that celebrity endorsement? So you're saying that, yes, we need to expand our businesses and we need to get a large number of people to support. And it's not necessarily just the celebrity people. Some people are looking for the big name clients, but really it's about teaching each client that they're valuable and pouring into each client so that they will not only tell just the people in their circle, but that they'll actually post you online and share the good that you've done with their community. And I think another key piece about what you said was number two, that you are getting a lot of repeat business. And that's really key when people can come to you over and over. So with coaching, we have a lot of programs. So people will do the program and then that's it. But the question is, after you do the program, are they coming back to you? Are they, doing this repeat business with you so that anything you're offering, they're going to want? And one of the key things that I see about your business, Empress, is that even as you increase your prices and even as you change your sets, people are coming back. they want more. And so the secret is to have raving fans, which is what you have, raving fans, so that almost no matter what you're doing, you can always bring those people in and they'll say, wow, yes, I want to be a part. Yes, I want to support, because they're literally your fans and your supporters. And so they say that business, so much of the time, is not just about the service that you provide, but it's really about you, who you are providing, who you are that is providing the service. So they say that, like with a Starbucks, you can, expand and have a franchise because it's just a cup of coffee and the coffee is at the same temperature every time, regardless of where you are in the world. But doing a franchise like yourself, because you're looking at expanding to different multiple locations, it's more challenging because what people are actually purchasing is you.
Right.
So how do you go about getting them to buy you at all of these different locations? So yeah, you hire somebody who's really great, but then that person will cultivate a relationship with your clients and walk off with the clients, as opposed to you being able to expand that franchise. So that's why they say franchises that have service oriented businesses sometimes are more challenged than franchises that just offer products. So back to the initial question, I know we kind of went around the bend.
It's
You
interesting.
have been able to get your clients to support you in these respective locations because you've changed locations, support you as you've created new products and gotten them to purchase, and also gotten them to post you. So how have you done that?
Um,
Creating plans.
okay, yeah, the first one was social media. So I don't believe that social media is very, I won't say social media isn't helpful, but I don't believe that your follower count is that important.
I
I
agree. Go ahead.
huh?
Tell us why. I said I agree. Tell us why. Go ahead.
I know young women who have 50,000, hear me, $50,000. I know young women who have 50,000 followers on Instagram who cannot get their followers to spend a fraction of the amount of money that my followers and my clients are spending with me. I also have a mentor who is making way more money than me, probably like 2 to 3 times more than me. And she has less followers than me. So I think that particularly in business, we always focus on, okay, well, I want to have 100,000 followers. I want to have the 50,000 followers. And those things are good, but I think it all comes back to the value. If you have a lot of followers, if you have quality people who are coming to you, they're not going to care if you have a lot of followers or not. My clients post me because they genuinely enjoy my experience, and also too because I've priced myself where I've priced myself at. I am not accessible to a lot of people. I did not take new clients for a long time, and now I limit the amount of new clients that I can take. So for them, it's an exclusivity thing, you know? If you are sitting down having, I'm always talking about celebrities, if you're sitting down having lunch with Rihanna, you're probably going to post about it, not because, oh, you're having lunch, but because most people would not be able to be in the position that you would be in having lunch with Rihanna. So I think that when you create exclusivity around your business, that's valuable. So I think a lot of people try to create exclusivity around their business by getting big name people to come to them. But I think that the big name people are typically coming prematurely, in what I've seen. So you just want to add value, do well with your clients, and then the extra people will come. I know people who are doing really, really well in business who don't even have Instagrams, you know? They're
Right.
well, like I've asked some of my service providers, how come we don't have an Instagram? And they say, well, I don't need one. My clients come to me, they come to me consistently and they tip me well. So why would I add that extra step? I think a lot of people focus on other things other than the client.
Client, the
So
actual business. Yeah, like the social media sometimes is almost like an additional job. Like you have to do this every day or, several times a week, and you're focusing your time and effort and energy on the social media. And are you giving your clients that same level of
wow.
intensity and energy and cultivation?
Because I tell you,
Yeah.
I've seen people with who do lashes, who do hair, 20,000 followers, right? Thousand
Yes.
followers. If And I know because my clients come to me and they speak to me about these experiences. If you have 20,000 followers and you have a single client and you treat that single client disrespectfully or you're rude to them, not only are they going to spread the word about you being rude, they're never going to come back. And then what do your 20,000 what do your 20,000 followers mean at that point? Because followers with no money makes no sense. Everybody's different, but I would not want to have 100,000 followers and make no money. That I think that actually sounds like a curse more than a blessing. Um,
Empress, you are so right. Right now, there
mhm,
are people who have a multiplicity of followers and they're in coaching and ensuring that they can turn some of those followers into actual clients. So the question really is, where is your focus? And you have obviously done both. Like you've had the clients first and cultivated that client list. And then you were also able to then free up some of your time as you increased your prices and been
absolutely.
able to then share on social media as well, to like you're doing right now, to share
Right.
with other business owners as to how they can also have a successful business like you. So I'm grateful for your time and effort and also for your transparency, because some people don't want to tell their secrets,
Thank
you
you.
know, especially as a successful businesswoman of color coming on here and being willing to say, listen, I'm going to show you behind the curtain. This is how I'm doing it. That is really awesome. You
Thank
know, what makes you different from all of the other people in your industry whereby you're willing to go behind the black curtain, so to speak, and share in such an open manner about your business and about what you've been working on?
So I think that comes from, this might not sound very good. I think that comes from self-esteem. I have spent a lot of time and money and energy through life coaching programs in improving my self-esteem. Your self-esteem is invaluable. If I know that I can do me like me, um, then it's not too difficult to share my secrets and my tips and my tricks and my techniques, because you're not going to work it like how I work it, right? Everybody has something that makes them a unicorn, right? Everybody has something that makes them valuable. And I think the difference between me and a lot of other business owners in my industry is that I know what makes me valuable. And I play on that and I push that at every possible second. There's a lot of people who wouldn't be able to have somebody get upset and get angry with them and not get angry back, right? There's not a lot of people who
Right.
have good emotional intelligence like me. There's not a lot of people who know how to put their feelings on the back burner temporarily to provide a quality service, you know? So that's something that makes me good. And I think that if I can allow other people to tap into some of what makes me good, I think that I get the residual blessings from that. I think that if I'm benefiting other people, then they're going to know about me and they're going to talk about me and they're going to be benefited and they're going to continue to watch my content and to come to me. And then I'm benefited anyways, you know?
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to go back to the fact that you said you know who you are, you know what service you're providing, but you also know what your key, what they call it, kryptonite, what your key sweet spot is. Like, you know what it is that you're doing that brings your clients to you. So many people, women in particular, have challenges around asking for money, around pricing.
Mhm.
And you have not only cultivated that, but now as you've raised your prices, you're like on the cutting edge of that because you're able to say, not only am I charging this high price, but I'm charging an even higher price.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
And so you've been able to cultivate that ability. Many of us have, as you mentioned, self esteem issues. And so our pricing is tied to our self esteem. And as you know, I've written this book. It's called The 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck After COVID-19. And one of the secrets that we talk about is cultivating this ability, is proximity. Secret number 4, proximity, which is about how you're able to connect with those around you. So you're connecting with your clients at a higher price than before. You're getting the pushback, but you know exactly how to resonate in such a way that makes them feel like, yes, it is a higher price, but it's worth it.
Right.
Okay? So what is it that you're telling yourself as you're speaking to the client about the price that allows them to receive it better and not give you as much pushback?
And what am I telling myself?
Yeah.
I think that people can only be as sure of you as you are sure of yourself. Um, and that's why I guess it goes back to life coaching. I've heard a lot of people say, well, I don't need to pay somebody to tell me about me. You do. You do. Everyone needs, we are in school to cultivate how good we are at math and how good we are at science, but not many of us take the time to say, well, what makes me me? What makes me valuable? So if I was offering this service at this price and I thought that the service was worth maybe $100 less, I would be incapable of articulating to my client why it's worth the price, because I don't even think it's worth the price. And also too, I think when I chose this price, I think it was helpful because I didn't just pull this price out of thin air.
Yeah.
We're currently in what month are we in? We're in April. I decided that I was going to raise my prices, and the price that I was going to raise my prices to from August. August.
Okay. So is this something that you posted publicly? Did you post on social media, these are my prices? Did you send an email? Did you?
No, you're not supposed to post about it. I know some business owners who send emails, but I didn't really think it was necessary. Also, what I did was I left the prices the same for like a month, and I did a sale. So I'm coming towards the end of my sale now. So people could go into my website and see the new prices, but then they were also able to pay their normal price. So they could kind of adjust.
Not to interrupt you, but you just changed it on your site where they would go to book. You
Correct.
didn't actually tell them ahead of time, these are the
Correct.
new prices.
Correct, but I added a sale. So the reason why I'm emphasizing the sale is if I'm a regular person and I'm going to book someone for a service and all of a sudden the price is different and I now have to pay this new price, I would be a bit uncomfortable versus me seeing the price so I'm aware of the new price, but then for the next few weeks I don't have to pay the new price, you know? So it gets them accustomed to the new price. It kind of gets rid of that sticker shock, as you called it,
Yes.
and then it gives them the time to say, okay, is this really worth it? And to be mindful when they come to me at the lower price and say, okay, well, is this valuable? And I'm aware that maybe people might go elsewhere, but I know that the service that I'm providing and the way that I'm providing it, I know that no one provides the service that I'm providing like how I provide it.
Especially not for that price point.
Especially.
Question for you. So when you do your program, because you also do trainings in this area, how do you advertise your trainings? How do people know that you're going to start a new training so that they can, gain this financial security that this particular profession provides?
I post on social media and I also tell my clients through word of mouth. Um, so once they know about something, especially when they hear my enthusiasm about it, they're really excited and they immediately would want to come. And if they don't want to come, then at least they're aware of it so that they can tell other people to come. So I've had a lot of my classes haven't been booked through just my clients, but through my clients who knew somebody who wanted to start doing lashes. And then that's how they start coming to me.
So a lot of the people that come to you for your classes are coming to you through word of mouth, even though you're posting it on social media. A lot of them are people who are known by your clients.
Correct.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. And how often do you do your classes?
Not often. My classes are pretty expensive, so I think that creating exclusivity around the classes themselves and not offering them all the time willy-nilly has definitely been helpful to me.
And if I may coach you in your wording, the courses are not expensive. The courses are
Valuable.
are what is required in order for you to share all of this quality information and bring your clients to the next level financially.
Absolutely.
Appropriately priced, right? In terms of what we're talking about.
And I do actually have to get up and get ready soon, but I
Thank
want
you so much for spending this time, this 59 minutes with us,
Mhm.
Empress, before you have glammed up and transformed yourself and gone out into your shop. We're just so grateful that you spent this time talking with us. And we're congratulating you on your business success and
Thank
wishing you every success in the future as you expand and as you go to franchising and as you take this to another stratosphere. So thank you so much for spending this time with us. And will you come back again and talk with us?
Absolutely, of course. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can't wait. I'll be counting the hours.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Can't wait to talk with you again too. Bye bye, Empress. Have
Bye.
a great day. Oh, any parting words before you go?
Any what?
Any parting words before you want to go? Is there anything else you wanted to share?
Are there parting words for you or for the
For
audience?
you, for the audience about business before you go and business success.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. This is the most important thing. If you didn't hear any of the things that I said today, um, add value and add as much value as possible. If you add value, people will tell you what they want to pay for. People will offer to overpay you for what you're offering. People will ask you to provide services that you don't even provide and pay double what you thought you were worth in that given area if you are offering value. Add value to as many people as you can, as often as you can, and all that will come back. And a lot of the time it comes back in money.
Yay! Thank you so much. Have a great day.
And you as well.
Enjoy your business and congratulations to all your clients who have an opportunity to work with you and be in your presence as you are the Empress who sits on her throne. Thank
Thank
you so much.
you.
Bye bye, Empress.